Welcome to round 4 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of August 12th. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
As well as Mimi Golub.
Hello.
And Stacy Feintuch.
Hi.
Of Living the Second Act, who are sitting in for vacationing Nicole Eridix this week. As moms of teens and young adults, we've survived those little kid days, yet we're still rethinking the decisions we've made all through our kids' lives and worrying about what's going on right now. Today's Thursday, which means it's time to give into our obsessing about parenting details big and small. And today we have a big one, our kids' safety, especially when they're away from home. The 4 of us here today all have varying degrees of this. My kids are young adults living at home, but they go off to work and other outings while I sit at home and fret. Catherine's daughter is still in high school, but she drives herself all over for skating practice, and Catherine traces her by GPS.
That's right.
Mimi's 2 kids are out of college, and Stacy, you're about to send your youngest off to college as well. How are you guys coping with this? Are you as completely obsessive and helicoptering as we are?
Of course. I am actually, my oldest is going to be a junior in college, and my youngest is going to be a freshman, and she leaves in 2 weeks.
Oh,
yeah, I know. I'm like a little nervous, maybe a little more than a little nervous.
It's fine. It's fine. Right.
My older one, we live in New Jersey. She goes to college in New York City, and she lives in the city. And that is one set of worry. And then my younger one is going to college all the way in Nashville. So she's a plane ride away. So that's going to be a whole other worry. So my older one, she lives in New York. So, I used to live in New York when I was in my 20s. So I know what it's like. And it's not as scary as, people think. Mm-hmm. But, it still is. She's walking around the city. She takes the subway. She walks to classes, whatever she's doing. She goes out, everything. And, she's only 19. No, she's not. She's 20. I'm sorry. She's 20.
They keep doing that. They keep having birthdays.
It's so unsettling.
She's 20. So she's only 20. And, I do worry. I worry, she comes home at night, if she's by herself, if she's in an Uber, if she's in a taxi. It's scary. I am lucky that, it's the reason she's in school in New York is that she loves it there. And she's able to navigate things better than I ever was. Like, she learned the subway system in like a minute and a half. She can really, she's very city savvy, and she gets it and she knows it. But, she's a 20-year-old girl, and I think sometimes she's on her phone or she's not paying attention, and you never know. Yeah. So yes, she's a worry for me, obviously, when she's in the city. She is very good at staying in touch with me, thankfully. She calls me all the time. I always know where she is. She texts me. She tells me where she's going. My younger one, on the other hand, who is leaving on a plane ride in a few weeks, that's a whole other worry. She's going to be in a different city, a different state, a different everything. And, I'm just worried for a bazillion different reasons, not just safety, but a bazillion different reasons. Yeah. And she also does not keep in touch with me. She, it's like pulling teeth. I won't hear from her for days, whatever, and where are you? Oh, I forgot to tell you. She's one of those. So, I worry about both of them. But Mimi's kids are older. So, they're out of college already, and they're both on their own in 2 different cities. So I'm sure that's scary for her too.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say to all your listeners, like right now, if you have a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old, just forget it. It doesn't go away. It's just, you weren't there choking when they, I think when I was leaving the hospital with both babies, Shira was, one was 4 pounds, 7 ounces. The other one was 8.5 pounds.
Oh my God.
Discrepancy. And it was winter in Boston, and it was like 90 inches of snow on the ground. And I don't think we left the parking lot because I was screaming, saying that the one who was much smaller was not breathing. Okay.
Oh no.
So, but the point is, I think back on that, like that was my first sort of bit of being a mother.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It grips you. Yes. And even now they're going to be 24. I still are you alive? Is my kid descent? Because I don't know, they're out of the world. And I don't know how you separate the love that you have for your children from the fact that you're just worried about them, even when they're, you know what I mean? Like the love brings on the worry. And I don't know how to separate those two things.
Yes.
Even at almost 24 years old.
I think you're always going to worry.
Ugh.
I remember how annoying it was when I was that age to have my mother worry about me. Just stop.
Yeah.
I'm an adult.
I'm fine.
I know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
And now I know. Now I understand. Sorry, Mom.
Well, my mother, it's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. When my husband passed away, she did not think I could handle this world of mine on my own. And she would call me 15 times a day. And like, if I didn't answer my home phone, she'd call my cell phone. If I didn't answer, she'd text me, where are you? Where are you? When are you home? And finally I said, Mom, I'm 45 years old. You have to stop. And she's like, but you're alone and I'm so worried. I'm like, if something is wrong, I will tell you. You cannot. She was like haunting me. But I was 45 and she was worried about me.
Yeah.
I know. I just worry about my Life 360 dependence because
me too.
when my daughter in a year goes to college, like I'm gonna have to turn that off. Like that's
no, you don't.
And
are you really?
I use it all the time. Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do when I have to turn that off?
I don't think you have to turn it off.
I don't either.
But I feel like will it make it worse if I can. What if I look at it and I see that she's, I don't know, will it make me more nervous? If I have that like instant gratification and I could get the wrong idea of what's happening. I don't know.
Well, that's true, but it's not like if you don't check it, you're going to not be thinking those things.
Right.
Well, what I do with my Life 360, I have it. I don't usually look at it unless I don't know where someone is and I should know. Like Lily, who I was saying she doesn't really let me know where she is. So after a few hours, I'm like, I'll just look on there. I'm like, oh, there she is. And then I calm down, then I don't worry anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't look at it 24 hours a day like that.
Well, and then you get the situation, Terry, like you had with your daughter, where she's like, I don't need to tell you where I am because you can just look on there.
That's right.
I mean, also you have to be careful. Some of those apps, like the Find Friends app.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Yeah, the one that once when one of my daughters was away on business, I looked and she was in the river.
Oh my God.
I've seen that a few times.
It actually was the hotel on the river, but the GPS positioning wasn't quite right. So she was, to me, dead in the river.
Yeah, it's not reliable. She will be like, why did she get off the highway? She's supposed to be on the highway. Why is she in downtown of this city? And then, of course, it'll go bloop, and then she's back on the highway.
So I just think that where the safety thing just never goes away. It just doesn't.
Yes.
And I didn't realize that because I didn't grow up in a family like that. So I didn't realize that I would be so overwhelmed with the love and the worry.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny what you said about your mom, checking on you, because I feel like after I had, like my mom and I have a good relationship, but when I was in college, we would talk like once or twice a week. It wasn't like a daily thing or anything. But when I had my baby, my first child, all of a sudden she was on the phone like all the time. So
they still alive?
Yeah. How's that baby? Yeah. So it was eye opening, I guess, her having that like very traditional mom response when she wasn't really like that for my whole life. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
See, this is discouraging because it keeps pushing the finishing line back. You think, well, once they graduate high school, I can stop worrying. Well, once they get out of college, I can start worrying. Well, when they're married, I can start worrying. Well, when they have a family of their own, I can stop worrying. We're never going to stop worrying, are we? We're always going to be obsessive about this.
One of my friends always says, bigger kids, bigger problems. Mm-hmm. And that's really basically what it comes down to. Like, they're little, you get upset if they, lose their sippy cup. And now we're worrying about, them being off on their own and being safe.
Right.
Yes. And we worry about them not dating. And then once they start dating, we worry about who they're dating. And then when they get serious, is this the right guy? And then if they break up, oh, how terrible thing. And then if they get married, is that, it's just
never ending.
And you wonder why I drink tequila every night.
That's right. That is pretty much the punchline for every parenting situation.
Exactly.
Oh, well, then I think we should stop right there, right?
Okay.
And go have the tequila now, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and say that's it for today's round 4. Tune in tomorrow when we'll share our roundup of things we've been using or enjoying or maybe drinking lately that we think deserve a shout out. Find all of our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there on our Facebook page or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat. And you can find Mimi and Stacy at livingthesecondact.com.